Hi, Roy. Hey, Roy, do you feel that your fight is getting enough attention? I kind of feel like people are underestimating how good this fight potentially could be with Werdum.
From a MMA standpoint, it changes the landscape of the heavyweight division. So it's one of those things that definitely changes status quo of like top 10 guy to top 3 guy to top 2 guy, you know. So it's definitely one of those big game changers. But I'm not in the promotion business. I just fight. So, you know, the UFC has their own game plans when it comes to that.
Well, it's interesting. I'm curious what you think of him as a fighter. Obviously, it was a big deal when he submitted Fedor, but what do you think of him stylistically and ability-wise?
Ability-wise, he beat Overeem on his feet the last fight. Submitted Fedor, who was undefeated for 10 years. So he's definitely, you know, older he's gotten better. So for me, I'm probably getting the best Fabricio out there.
And what do you think it's going to take to beat him?
Just be better at every aspect. Be a better striker, be a better ground guy, and hit harder.
Yeah, you have said it's better to just inflict more punches than the other guy does, right?
Punch a guy more in the face, it's definitely you're going to win.
Roy, random question. What do you think about Brittney Palmer being in Playboy?
Brit.
Do you have any offers?
Not for Playboy, no. But Ariana Celeste was the first, so I think it's just one of those things that got to have a career after the UFC, I guess.
And you've seen his wife, Brandy. He's got a hot smoking wife at home. You know, he doesn't need no Playboy.
I don't look at Playboys anymore.
On the record,
It's for the articles.
How do you break down the grappling? Both of you guys are such high-level grapplers. Talk about that.
I think different art. We have, as a grappling standpoint, you just different. You know, God blesses you with different, you know, advantages, and he was blessed with some long limbs, so he tends to do more triangles and more arm bars and work from the bottom type of game, where I kind of work more from the top and work from I say more positional grappling, and that's a little bit different than submission grappling. But we're not doing a submission tournament, we're doing an MMA fight, so it's a big difference.
He brought in Orlando Sanchez to try to sort of mimic you. Is there anybody you brought in camp to sort of mimic his length and long legs, like you said?
Not really, just the same guys, you know, that I've been working with. I think probably the guy I've been working with the most was former lightweight champ Forrest Griffin, long, lanky, fast, and probably weighs just as much as at 245. So.
So after your fight with Cro Cop, what did that do for you in terms of lifting your spirits? I mean, that was a big win for you, obviously. When you went back in the gym after that fight, how did you feel? And you know, did you do anything differently, or you know, once you got back?
I think just after Cro Cop was just go back in and just try to get better. Fight, you know, one thing I learned with the Cro Cop is, give me a left-hander, I can beat him up all day. Now, you know, and just after you see that same look 2 fights in a row, it's just now you just come accustomed to a left-hander. So it just taking that and then adding it to my arsenal with a regular orthodox fighter is definitely just made me a better fighter.
Did you look back at that fight, though, see anything that you wish you had done differently in terms of, you know, mistakes that you think maybe you made, or something that you would adjust in this fight with Fabricio?
You know, 2 different fighters, 2 different fights. But like the biggest thing I would change with the Cro Cop is not. I think in the second round I was a little over anxious. I hit him, ran right in, and then got hit and clipped, and then came back up, but then took care of business. Maybe probably gone for the. You know, when I took his back in the third, and maybe gone for the submissions just so I can get the submission night bonus, but that's about it. I mean, nothing really. I was just going for a W.
Now, you have said that this fight could change the landscape of the heavyweight division. How do you see it shaping up in terms of JDS? Do you think he's got the potential to stay there at the top for a while, and you guys are all fighting for position as #1 contender, or do you think that Alistair has a chance against him?
The way I look at it is, when I fought JDS, we were fighting for the belt then. I think JDS was snubbed for a while. I think his first fight, Fabricio, if he would have got past JDS, he would have fought for the belt. And then he took care of Fabricio, and then after that he had to fight like I think 8 more times or 7 more times, something ridiculous, before he got to the belt. So versus like some other people have, we'll say, the easier roads, like, you know, Overeem beat Brock, ooh, you know, and then now you get a title shot or whatever.
You don't make a lot of that fight. You don't think it was a big deal?
Did you watch it?
I did. I was there.
So what'd you think?
I thought Alistair did a good job taking out Mr. Lesnar.
Yeah. I'm a wrestler. I'm not even gonna wrestle. So.
Okay. I see how you feel.
Hey Roy, what's the best Valentine's Day gift for a guy?
Valentine's gift for a guy? I guess we'll work it opposite, like a woman. We'll say just get off his back for that one day.
We're gonna double it up the next. You know that.
It's always a Christmas, Christmas, Valentine's, like these special days, birthday, you know. So I think that's his one day of holiday of like, just leave me alone.
Hey, now take care of him. Take care of him. I don't know what that means. Do you want to elaborate or not? Maybe not. It's a PG thing.
You just take care of him. You just do what you're supposed to do.
So listen, the last time you were fighting, the hair, the mullet, the beard, it was kind of a big deal. You didn't cut it, obviously, again this time. Has that turned into sort of a symbolic good luck thing for you?
No, it's just fans like it. So you gotta, it's Kiss without makeup. It just wouldn't be Kiss.
It's not. It's just Ace Frehley and a bunch of other dudes.
But if you take me off the platform shoes, I just wouldn't be Kiss.
Yeah, because Paul's like 5'2", isn't he really?
Yeah, so, you just got to definitely, you got this image to hold up.
Speaking of appearance, you're looking a little bit leaner there, man. What's going on there?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And I think the older you get, and guys usually, age a little bit different than women. So I think I'm just getting more ripe, so I'm getting prettier.
What do you think about the new tournament format for the decision for the champion? New tournament format.
There's a tournament? Are we talking about Bellator?
I don't know.
I think she means they kind of said it was like a tournament with the 4-man thing with Overeem, I guess is what you're referring to.
Bellator?
Yeah.
Bellator. That's the only tournament format I know.
They're doing that in the flyweight
UFC
division.
won.
They're
UFC
doing that in
won.
the flyweight division, but
UFC
I don't think,
won.
Roy, you can't make 125, can you?
UFC 1 was a tournament format. 2 was a tournament format. 3 was.
Actually, in all seriousness, no. Strikeforce had their heavyweight tournament.
That wasn't a tournament.
Well, Grand Prix, let's call it. That's what they call it.
Putting a couple people over here and like shuffling up to make it look. We already knew where some of the guys were already going, and then some. It would have been better to have them all shuffled up a little bit better than.
Well, that's my question to you is that, Strikeforce is going to be dissolving the heavyweight division. So do you have eyes on anybody over there, or how would you feel about fighting Josh Barnett, and how do you feel about some of the other heavyweights in Strikeforce coming over and possibly joining you in the UFC?
The only guy I got right now that's coming over is Fabricio. And then after that, then whoever has the UFC belt, because I'm not fighting for a Strikeforce belt.
Apparently neither will they.
Well, there is one guy who's going to go over and fight the winner of the tournament. Is that something you might be interested in?
If it gets me closer to the UFC belt, or a couple extra bucks in my pocket, sure. But it's the whole thing is when you come over to the UFC, you want to fight for the belt, and then if not, I'm fighting for money. It's one or the other. So, got to give me one or the other.